I recently purchased a peperomia, and to my dismay, I gave it too much water. I didn't want it to dry out when I was gone, and it got too much water and died, so I had to go purchase another one. I'm not sure what variety this is, so if you know, can you please leave a comment for me? But I really love the way it looks. And I want to find a good pot that's perfect for its nice color scheme. And I have several options to go with. So I have this pot, and looking at the color, I was hoping it would be right, but if it was a darker greenish color, it would have looked better. And I also have some other options. Here is a nice old vintage from 1984 mug with a Far Side cartoon, but the black and white, you know, it's kind of iffy. I also purchased this beauty, a nice, I guess, a soup mug or something. And you see how it has brown, and I'm still not, it does look a little better, but it doesn't match perfectly. I mean, just because I'm straight doesn't mean I, can't make things match. So, I also have this mug. Now this one and the Far Side mug I got from my auntie in New Jersey. And I'm not sure what brand this is. It looks Japanese. If anyone knows what brand this is, or what decade, if it was made in the 80s or 90s or earlier, please let me know, because I really like this design. It will be nice to find more of them. But it's a nice cream color versus white, and this brown, not quite the same color, but I think it looks best in this compared to my other options. Now, because this mug is still in excellent condition, and if I were to go with the Yosemite mug, also in great shape, except there seems to be like a little flaw right here in the glaze, and I feel like that would cause the clay in the mug to soak up juices from the plant. I don't want to risk ruining either of them. So for this one, I actually got a yogurt container that fits perfectly in as a liner. So that is an option you can do when you have some nice mugs, or even collectible mugs like this Far Side one that you want to use, but you don't want to destroy by having plants grow in them. Now for this one, I have an empty yogurt container from the brand Siggy's. Excellent yogurt, by the way. And I can put this in there, and then it's like a liner I can always take out, etc. Now, because I gave that too much water, what I want to do is make sure, I could put a second one underneath, drill a hole to collect water, but you never know if it's going to just keep collecting and then accumulate and kill the plant. So I'm just going to have to water it sparingly. I don't really like pots with drainage holes, because a lot of times many plants, they end up drying out because the tray underneath doesn't collect enough water, that the plant keeps dehydrating between watering. So I have some perlite, and I'm just going to put a layer of perlite underneath. Don't know what that little piece of debris is in there, but anyway. I also have some of soil that I put like around 50% perlite as a succulent mix. And I could use that, but we'll see if I have enough soil here. Oops. I could probably put the whole thing in there. Yeah. I've been having this sitting around waiting for an opportune project to use it in. Now, one thing is, if I take this to work, am I going to end up overwatering it when I water my other plants? I'm worried. So I don't know if I'll take it to work, even though I have a perfect windowsill for it. Watch this mug be some rare brand or rare style that's worth a couple hundred. You never know with antiques, although all the antique china and things, people don't collect like they used to. I mean, why do you want to spend hundreds on something that's going to break? Not that I haven't, but not on porcelain, more on ancient lamps. Okay, so now I have this, and I do have some loose soil that's already mixed. I need to go get that, so give me a moment. Okay, this would have been another planting option in nice clear glass. And what's interesting is, if it was in there, let me show you. You can actually see how dry the soil is. Come to think of it, I wonder which one looks better, that or that. I kind of like this. So I'm going to take the risk. Hopefully by the time I start, before I kill this, like I seem to kill everything else, I hope I'll be able to propagate. So now this one, I'm going to go ahead and dump it. And let's see if any of these are salvageable. No, that stem is dry, so I can't use this. You know, you can propagate these like you do African violets. But the soil I'm going to use in here. Some people like to only use clean soil, or like, what if you have fungus and everything? Well, you have fungus everywhere, and molds and spores, even in your own sterile, or, well, you think it's sterile kitchen. So anyway, as long as you don't give things the right growing conditions to take over, it should be fine. But why waste, especially since a lot of potting soil uses peat moss, which is, you know, we're using it more than it's being formed. Okay, so dead leaf. Yes, I will have to give this a little water. You can see the big leaf which they propagated this one from. And let me be very gentle. Ooh, poor leaf. Oh, this one's no, I was hoping that one would be one I can pull apart, because I think you can propagate from new shoots, like you see here's one shoot, there's another. Or you can propagate, well, I kind of want this more centered. So let me center this without hopefully killing it, like I seem to be doing a lot lately. It's like some plants I have good success with, others I don't, you know. Everybody has different lighting and moisture and humidity like in their house, and not to mention the climate zone they're in. So some people may have trouble with certain plants, not with others, and others may have trouble with certain plants, not with others. I really like this plant so much, the nice color scheme, and who knows if the nursery will ever be bringing any more on a regular basis, that I don't want to risk killing this one. Poor Hermie if he dies. But I hate when plants are like just lopsided and dangly. So I do want to make sure I'm pressing this down in there and adding enough soil. And then once I water, it will be compacted. I have some roots that are getting in the way. Sometimes these old roots from old plantings are excellent to use as like in other pots for like water retention. A little bit of trivia for you guys. So instead of adding like peat moss or cocoa peat or something, you can always add some of the root system left over from a dead plant. There we go. So let me clean up and show you the finished product. I went ahead and gave it a light watering, and when I mean light, I mean sprayed on here in the soil. And you know, the bottom is really wet, so it will eventually filter through. If I see it wilting, I can give it more water. in reality, it's better to underwater a plant and then add water if you see it wilt than to overwater where you end up doing damage beyond repair to a plant, as proved by the earlier one I purchased. Anyway, so here's how it looks, and I look forward to enjoying this plant. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.